Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Fred Speaks. I pray this podcast finds you in the best of health and spirits. And it's been a while since at least a few weeks or so, since I actually had a phrase or a scripture. But for this podcast, I wanted to read a verse from a scripture. It's found in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter and the 1st verse. And it reads, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." And I was thinking about when it comes to seasons such as winter and summer, as one comes in, the other is on the horizon in a matter of time. The seasons will change no matter what we prefer. Some may prefer fall, winter. Some may prefer spring, summer. But regardless of what we prefer, the seasons are going to come in, whether it's your favorite or not. They're going to happen. And I was thinking, when it comes to winter, when winter comes, it seems like everything is desolate or lacks life. However, in time, the life will return and is displayed beautifully in the summertime. And most people equate winter with it being cold and equate summer with it being warm. The seasons will continue to happen along with the changes that occur in the season. It is something we have no control over. It is in the control of God's hand. So then seasons, we have no control over them. They're going to occur no matter, like I said, what your preference is. They're going to occur. And there is a time and a season for everything, in this world under the heavens. There's a time to laugh. There's a time to be sad. There's a time to cry. There's a time to be glad. So there's things that it's a cycle that it can't be broken. They are going to occur. There are things that happen in our life that can totally just disrupt everything. Just like winter, it just seems like everything is just like desolate, like it's just been, wiped away. But if you can understand that there's seasons, that just like it was wiped away, there will be a time where it'll be restored. And everything happens in time. And I know that we're living in a time where or what I call the microwave age, where we want everything to happen like right away. But because of seasons and because of change and because of time, we have no control over it. So we're at God's mercy as to when a change will come. when things will be different. But the seasons, they come, but we don't have to, just like I was talking about winter, how it seems like everything just kind of dies. It doesn't seem like there's no life. But we can rest assured that summer is on the horizon, that, you know, it will come back around, but it's all in time. And so even when it comes to, having experiences in life that may not be appear to be favorable, in time, it will turn around. It will turn around, but everything under the sun has a time and a season. And it is also, when you think about winter and you look at your grass during the wintertime and it's all brown and just looks terrible. But as spring and summer starts to come around, you see it starts to change. It starts to get green. There's new growth. Even when you look at the different, insects and, like butterflies and different things, you don't see them thriving during the wintertime, but then when spring and summer start to come around, then you start seeing them flourish, and they look so beautiful when you see them, flying, the butterflies flying, and everything is thriving in that season. But then there, when winter, fall and winter time comes around, they start to, you don't see them. They it's almost like they disappear. But just like you don't see them, you don't have to worry. When the time comes back around, you will see them again. And so, there's seasons of change. With each season, there's a change. And I was thinking about life. Life is a season of change. That one day you could be up, and another day you could be down. One day you could be well, one day you could be sick. But all this season, the changes of the season is not unto death, but it's just things that occur during the season. If you notice, like during flu season, there's like numerous people that get sick and, they're down. But as the season changes, as things start to change, they get better and, and then they're well again. So then each season in life, has a change that occurs. There's a season where it seems like there's many deaths, but then there's a season where there's a lot of births that are occurring. So in this season, there's changes, some that, you may view as not favorable. And then there's some that you view as favorable. But with each season, you have no control over the changes that will occur. But the thing is understanding that, the seasons are going to bring about change. So every day there's some change or something that may occur, whether it's expected or unexpected. There are things that occur on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. But it's all a part of the season. And I know that right now it seems like, that everything is going down. But even in that season when it seems like, there's so many financial problems and, so many disappointments and, so many things that are not favorable to the flesh. But in this season, there is also opportunity to have peace, to be content with whatever you have, whatever, that God has permitted you to achieve, to obtain, whether it's big or small, to be content. And so, like I said, a season is going to have changes, and the season that we're in right now from a weather standpoint, we're into a season where the trees, and the leaves and different things start to change. And it's in some states it's more, you can see it better versus some other states, but you can see the changing of the leaves and just different things starting to change in this particular season. And so life is a season or seasons of change. There's various seasons in life. And as you live your life, you have to understand there are going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some times where you're overjoyed. There's going to be some times when you're sad. There's going to be some times where you're laughing. And then there's going to be some times when you're crying. But no matter the season, that there's better things to come. And it's a cycle, so you're going to have your opportunity of things that you feel is not favorable to you. But I am a true believer that all things work together for the good to them that love God. So although you have these different seasons of change that is occurring in your life, that it is all working for your good. And that if you can go through the seasons and not give up and not faint, that it's going to make you better. I think about when it comes to something that you want to achieve, a lot of times there's some sacrifice. Some sacrifice has to be made. Some changes have to be made in order for you to achieve the goal. So, for example, if you're trying to, complete your master's in education, there's going to have to be some sacrifice of when you want to just watch TV, or you just want to be on the phone, talking on the phone or whatever. You have to make the sacrifice that that time I'm going to devote to my studies, to making sure I'm staying on track with achieving my goal. So seasons and changes, although there's some, like I said at the beginning, there's some seasons that we prefer over the others, but they're going to occur no matter what. And so seasons are, they're there to make us, better, to make us stronger. If we can go through the winter, then we can also go through the summer. We can go through the spring. We can go through the fall. We can go through all these different seasons, all these different changes as we experience them, and we learn that they all bring about some change, but understanding that they're going to occur. It makes no sense to think in life that you're never going to go through anything, that you're never going to have to experience some changes. And most of the time, people don't have a problem with the change if they're in control of it. But a lot of times changes come and you have no control. You have no control over it. It happens. And, you could get a phone call or a letter in the mail or something that, something unexpected. And you're like, man, I'm not prepared for this. But it's not about whether you're prepared, but it's about having to experience it, deal with it. It's part of the season. It's part of change that, there are some things that are going to happen that are unexpected. But with that, you have to embrace it. And, because it's part of the season, it's part of the change. And, change is good. The winter, like I say, it seems like everything is desolate. But then when the spring and summers, come around, you have that new growth, that revitalization of different things, the life returning to it. And it's shown by the change in the color, the grass, the leaves, and things are thriving. But don't get comfortable. Don't get complacent, because winter is right around the corner again. And so I wanted to do this podcast because I just wanted to make sure we as human beings understand that life is full of seasons of change, and that there's going to be things that are going to happen regardless of whether we want it to happen or not. It's going to happen. There are things in life that if it was your choice, you would never let it happen. But because you have no control over it, there are things that happen. And, instead of us, just giving up, we have to embrace it and accept it. I was thinking about the different animals, and like the bear, during the winter time, he goes into hibernation. And then, when the spring and summer roll, he starts to come out and move about. And if you notice during the wintertime, there's a lot of things, depending on where you live, a lot of things you can't do. There's a lot of, conditions, weather conditions that prohibit you maybe from driving or being able to leave your home, and you have to adapt to that. You have to, you know, you can't just say I don't want to live anymore because of the winter, but you have to be able to embrace it and be able to adapt and be able to deal with it. And some people are like, I don't want to come out during the winter, but you have to go to work, so then you have to dress appropriately, to be able to go out in the conditions, knowing that it's cold, so you have to have on warm clothing, your boots and your hat, your gloves, your earmuffs, and you have to adapt to the conditions, and because just like you're experiencing that, in some time, you'll be experiencing a time where you can, have on your tank top or your shirt and shorts. So life is full of seasons of change, and we must adapt. We must embrace it, because it's not going to change as long as this earth is in place, and we're going to have different changes, different experiences, because every season has its changes that have come along with it, and everything is working for the good. Even when it comes to nature, everything is working, you know, and is in alignment. So the seasons are important. They have to occur in order for to keep the cycle going. And with life, just like someone is born, someone dies. But it is part of the season. It's part of the change. And so let us not, be weary or to feel a certain way when certain seasons come around. But just thinking about it, it's only for a while. And soon there will be a new season that comes into play. So whatever it is that the season that you're in your life, just remember that there's a change, a new season that will come around, that you won't always be in whatever situation you're in, but you'll have your day where things are better, things turn around. So let us keep living. Let us have, take every day, one day at a time, and whatever is in that day, let us embrace it and deal with it. Sometimes if we get a flat tire, we feel like the whole world has come to an end. And I know nobody likes to come out and their tires flat, but we have to, even those things, we have to embrace it and be able to deal with it and move forward. So seasons of change, and that's what life is it's about change, continuous change. Some changes wanted and some unwanted, but change is going to occur whether you like it or not. Even on your job, there's always continuous change. And sometimes you look and you're like, man, they don't have nothing better to do but sit around and try to change everything. But there's a reason for the change. You may not understand the change, but there's a reason behind the change. And so you have to adapt and move with the change. So life is a season, is seasons of change. So let us keep pressing, keep moving forward, and have a great day.